Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Sharon, and at Sharon Plans I primarily post videos related to budgeting and planning. So if that's something that interests you, then please stick around. Today's video is going to cover my week 3 check-in for the month of July. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, and for those that are returning subscribers, welcome back. So without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it. This, what you see laid here below, is my monthly view. And this is where I like to keep track of my bills that are due as well as my expenses throughout the month. This here is just a legend that I use to color code my expenses. So these are the tracking stickers that I'll be using. I don't weekly check in for each category, but those that I do check in for will be listed on my weekly check-in page. For this week, I did have a few expenses, not a whole lot, but enough so that it's worthy of a weekly check-in. So I do have my expense stickers already written out, and all of the stickers that you see me using here are available for sale in my Etsy shop. If you're interested, I'll leave the link in the description box below. Also, if you haven't checked out my Instagram, please go over to my Instagram. It's Sharon Plans. So first, I'm gonna start with my personal category. And my personal category I track in blue, which includes both my allowance and my grooming cash envelopes. So that is my blue stickers. So for grooming on the 17th, I did go and get my eyebrows done finally. I have not had them done since this quarantine started in March. So you have to imagine how they were looking. But gratefully, she was making appointments, so I was able to get in on Saturday the 18th. Also, I did spend some money out of my personal category this week, which was actually the first time I spent anything out of it. I went to Starbucks, the family and I, and we went and got some just breakfast items and drinks because we had already used up all of our eating out funds. So I decided to treat. We also went to Chick-fil-A on the 24th as well because they didn't have all the breakfast items that we wanted at Starbucks. That's what I spent out of my personal category. Next, I'm gonna go into my groceries category. And for my groceries category, I track both groceries and eating out, and I track those with the green expense tracking stickers. For groceries, I had a few expenses as well. On the 18th, we went to Chick-fil-A as well. Just gonna lay that there. And we spent $21. And then on the 24th, I went to ShopRite, which is a grocery store in my neighborhood, and I spent $40. And then I also went to Costco on the 24th as well. I spent $135 just replenishing some grocery items that we needed for, you know, to just finish us out through the end of the month. So those are all the expenses that I did have for the 3rd week of July. Just really quickly before I move on, because sometimes when I'm moving to the next thing, I sometimes forget. I just want to go ahead and check off the bills that came out from the 18th to the 24th so that I can mark that those came out as well. So my car note did come out. My home warranty did come out, and my trash payment came out as well. So those were all paid during this week. So I'm just gonna get my phone and I'm gonna quickly flip to the next page just so you can see. So this is my weekly check-in spread, and as I stated, week 3 covers from the 18th through the 24th. And so I'm just gonna use my phone just so that I can add up the expenses for my 3rd week. So first, and everything that I have from my personal category was spent on the 18th. So I had Chick-fil-A for $15. Then I had Starbucks for $35. And then I also had my eyebrows for $16. So that was a total of $66 that was spent out of my personal category. Remaining from week 2 was $600. So I should have a total of $534 remaining. So I'm just going to get my envelope. So here's my allowance envelope. And if you're interested, I purchased these envelopes from Romina Rosa. And I know that when I purchased them, she had an Etsy shop, but I think she's now moved her shop, but I will link it down below if you're interested. So for allowance, I have 20, 40, 50. And then for my grooming, I still have 100, 200, 300, 400, 50, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is correct. That gives me $534. Okay, so moving on to my groceries. Looking back at my Micro Happy Planner, I realized that I also had a $13 expense out of my groceries category on the 18th at Target as well. So I'll write that one out. I'm just gonna lay this sticker down on the 19th. I actually went to Target though on the 18th. Okay, and so to total up my groceries category, that's 21 on the 18th, that's 13 at Target, and then that's 134 at Costco and 40 at ShopRite. So that's a total of $208 that I spent out of my groceries category for this week. This was $208. And so I started out with $212, so that leaves me $4. And so here's my eating out envelope, which is empty. And then here's my groceries envelope, which has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is correct. Next I have gas, and I did not spend anything on gas this week. So I'm gonna put 0 there, and I'm gonna carry over the $137 from last week. And I don't take my gas money out of the bank. I do leave it in my checking account, and I just use my card when I go to the pump. So I don't have any monies to count out for that. And then for unbudgeted, I don't take anything out for unbudgeted. So this week I didn't have any unbudgeted expenses, but I did have an unbudgeted expense last week. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my red pen so I can roll that one over. I had a total rolling over of $68.69. Okay, going into week 4. And so that was all I had for my weekly check-in, but I also want to go ahead and pull my number for my 52-week challenge. So I'm just gonna flip to this. So this is my 52-week challenge, just legend that I normally like, the chart that I like to keep. And everything you see highlighted in pink are the numbers that have already been pulled. And I like to keep the numbers in this mason jar. And then every week when I do my weekly check-in, I just pick a number from this jar, and that's the number of dollars that I'll contribute for this week. Here's all the numbers that I picked from the previous week. And so what I like to do is just shake this up a little. And then I open it up, and I'm picking this week for week number 30, I believe. So for this week, I picked the number 50. And so what I normally do is just put an estimate in my budget for the highest 4 or 5 numbers, depending on how many I'm picking that month. And then I'll just make adjustments from there. So 50 is what I pulled for this week. And then what I like to do is go to the front of my planner where I actually track these numbers, and then write it in as well. So here's where I'm tracking my 52-week challenge in my planner. So here's the month of July. So like I said, this is for week 30. So for week 30, I picked $50. And this month, I'm actually going to be picking 5 numbers to make sure that I stay on track, because there's 5 Fridays. So next week during my week 4 check-in, I'll actually be picking a number for week number 31. at the end of the month, I'll actually total up how much I saved for the month of July, and then I'll add also the grand total for all of the previous weeks. Okay, so let me just go back to my monthly view, and I'm just going to check off everything that I checked in for today. And this one was a good one, but a short one, but I do like to come here and make sure that I continue to show you guys how my month is turning out so that I remain accountable. So moving forward into week 4, I only have one bill remaining for this month. So this should be a pretty smooth week. I don't anticipate any other expenses which would take me over in any other category, that is. So I'm excited for moving into August and seeing what we can do in that month. So I hope everybody is doing well for these first few weeks of July, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye for now.